Nigeria is taking the strongest stance against failed public projects. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has now signed the Debarment Policy, a move that grants government agencies the right to blacklist, sanction, and prosecute contractors who take up public funds, promise to deliver quality projects, but at the end of the day, fail on these promises. This policy aims to achieve accountability and transparency in public procurement process while ensuring an average Nigerian gets real-time value for the tax he or she pays. Hello and welcome to Guardian Talks. To help us understand the segment is Engineer Adekunle Mokuolu, a former president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Thank you for joining us, Engineer.
You're welcome. I'm good.
All right, let's get right into this interview. So to the first question, many Nigerians are familiar with abandoned or poorly executed public projects. How exactly would this debarment policy change the behavior of contractors and ensure that Nigerians get value for the taxes they pay?
Thank you very much for this very important question. The policy of government, the recent policy to debar non-performing contractors from government projects is a very, very welcome idea because it's a way that government will be able to self-regulate itself in the sense that if you are demanding performance from me, and you are going to sanction me for lack of performance, then of course it is assumed that you will be the first person to perform since you are the promoter of the project. So now that we have a new tax structure in Nigeria, that is the National Tax Act, Nigerian Tax Act 2025, which took effect from 1st of January. We find out that when contractors who really are the intermediary between the government and the citizens, once they are sanctioned, they are the ones that will deliver on projects. And if they are sanctioned, they will cry aloud if government has not done its own part.
Okay, so to the next question, we've heard about a lot of high-profile contract failure. Some years ago, we heard about the Sujimoto project failure in Engnr State. So now let's look at it from this angle. How exactly would this debarment policy take place, especially if prominent figures haven't been prosecuted yet by the courts?
Thank you. You see, for failed projects, it is very, very difficult to prosecute, defaulters, because usually government projects, kind of have what you call immunity in the sense that if they do not do it well, there is likelihood that most of the facts that will be used to convict, offenders or those who are alleged to have breached one or two processes, they can be covered. And if those facts are not brought to the front, to light, nothing can be done about it, especially if they are still in power. The other thing is that, like the project you mentioned, this Sujimoto in Engnr, whenever a project is not well concepted, that is, there's no planning, proper planning, design, and the cost, and even the cost-benefit analysis and environmental impact assessment, it's likely to have a problem, no matter how laudable that project is. So what we should be talking about actually is that we should spend more time planning, design, costing, and cost-benefit analysis, including the source of funding, before we even embark on a project.
Well said, Engineer. Thank you so much for that. So to the last question, can you tell us briefly, in your own honest opinion, Do you think an average Nigerian would be able to get real-time value for the taxes they pay when this debarment policy becomes fully implemented?
The answer is yes, capital yes.
Right.
Because you see, we have to know that life is about engagement. Like, basically, you cannot say you want to buy rice, for example, and you stay in your house and then you don't go to the market, or you send somebody to the market and he bought the wrong brand, and you have paid for that, for that a particular brand, and you are not getting value for your money. So essentially, when people pay tax, okay, then you can demand for your rights. And I think this is what the government wants to do. With this, for example, like I said, the debarment policy, if you debar me because I did not perform, I now have the right to cry out because I'm in business to make profit. I'm in construction industry to make profit. So if I have a valid contract with you and you debar me, in which case it's going to affect, my business, my profit, and even my personal well-being, I will cry out. So that is the beauty of this policy, and when you juxtapose it with the new tax policy tax policy or structure that we have now, people will now be able to ask. We've been saying it before. You are spending taxpayers' money, but because people are evading tax, so they cannot come to the open to demand for what is theirs. Because, like they say, he who must come to equity must come with clean hands. If you really pay your tax transparently, then you'll be able to come into the open because you have not hidden anything from the person that is the government who has taken the money, and government said, I'm going to do X, Y, Z for you. Then you'll be able to demand it because you are clean.
Thank you so much, Engineer. Thank you so much, Engineer Adekunle Mokuolu, for this insightful conversation, and we hope to have more of you next time.
I've been so delighted, and thank you for inviting me.
Enjoy the rest of your day. As the debarment policy takes full effect very soon, Nigerians are hopeful that it would curb the excesses of public contractors who under-deliver. Fatima Rachel for Guardian TV.